Welcome to Werks. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you do, please like, subscribe, and comment. Today's video is part 2 of the CNC router bed surfacing on the CNC router that I built. This is just a temporary bed with MDF laid and screwed to the machine and is the bottom layer, while a 1 inch by 5 inch by 6 foot pine board laid and screwed to the MDF is the top layer. The bit I used for engraving the lines was a Turnet upcut 4.2 degree 2 flute 1/32 inch diameter with a 3 inch length. The bit worked really well and I had no issues with it. I did do a very light sand on the engravings just to clear the fuzzies that might have been formed during the cutting. I decided to cut a grid pattern on the router bed after watching a few YouTube videos. I also decided that a spacing of 4 inches would probably be a good pattern in both the X and Y axis of the machine. I also decided to add dimensions to the lines for quick reference when setting up jobs. The program for the engraving lines didn't run as I expected. I made gaps in the lines to add the dimensions and made 2 separate programs to run, one for the grid lines and one for the dimensions. I assumed that Werks software, when producing the grid line programs, determined that the gaps formed 2 separate lines, and it made G-code reflecting that. You will see the program runs the short lines close to the edge of the table and then cut the rest of the line towards the center of the table. I thought it should have just cut the entire line in one shot and not break it up. Not a big deal for this job because it didn't really affect the quality, only the runtime. In the future, I will watch a little bit closer to this issue and make sure it cuts these types of lines in one shot to improve efficiency. I will design a new bed over the next few months after I determine what I want. I wanted a cheap bed so that if and when I made mistakes or had other issues and damaged the bed, I could surface the bed or replace it altogether without having to lay out a bunch of money. This engraving job took about 20 minutes to run, not counting bit changes or a job setup. I'm still learning the ins and outs of the software and job setups on the CNC router, so I take more time to do those functions and double check as I go. This is the first engraving job that I've done on the router, and was really impressed with the cut quality and finish of the program and router. The lines and numbers were pretty crisp and clear, along with the correct depth. The program ran the lines first, and then the second program cut the dimension numbers around the bed. I have been pretty conservative with the feeds and speeds in the programs to give myself a chance to stop the machine if something goes wrong. As time goes, I'll increase the feeds and speeds, which probably means that I will burn up, break, or chip the bits. I'm using cheap bits so that when I do mess one up, it's not a big financial loss. As I get better, I'll purchase better bits for the router. I still have quite a bit of work to do on the router, and if you follow my router update series, you'll see and hear about those changes to improve the CNC router. In the CNC Router Bed Surfacing Part 3, I'll show the finishing of the router bed. I really didn't see anyone else finishing the router bed the way I have. I really like the outcome, and I might make some minor changes when I put the final bed with the options I want on it. If you have any suggestions about what to add to the router bed, please feel free to add those in the comments section.
Thank you for watching Werks, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe for future videos, and comment. Thanks again.